think it might be a 1 star. What am I reading right now? Jessa just told me to. Holy plot twist. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to intro this little video. It is simply just a reading vlog, mood reading with me for a week-ish. Let's just roll the clips. I found a new favorite and a new least favorite. So here we go. The first book, I think we're gonna read A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. I have the large print version, so like the book's like bigger and I love it. I don't know why, it's just like really feeling great to hold this book. I've heard this compared to The Princess Switch on Netflix, and that is one of my favorite movies. I love it so much. But I think the premise with this one is she's a princess and she's in New York for something, and her taxi driver, she meets him and then they like kind of hit it off, and then she asks him to be her taxi driver for her whole trip. I don't really know much other than that, but I'm really excited because I love reading about like royalty and New York. I'm literally still on chapter 1, but there's a child in this. I don't really love children in books, so I'm hoping she's tolerable. It's dual POV and it looks like the perspectives are just separated by this, which I don't know because I just got so confused. Like that's his perspective and that's hers. Like what? Sorry. Oh my. Update time. It is the next day. It's Sunday now. Yeah, this isn't really going how I planned. I thought I was gonna be like almost done with this book now. I'm literally only on page 48. But the thing with this book is since like the POVs are like combined kind of, and like not like how they normally are and like each chapter is a different POV, the chapters in this are so long. Let me see how long. Chapter 3 starts on page 44. It ends on page 69. So it is like okay, I guess they're actually not that long, but they're kind of long chapters. That's really kind of tweaking me out, and how it's like the POVs are just different like throughout the chapters, how it switches, that confuses me. Not much has happened so far. They've just like met in like the first taxi ride. I don't really know how it's gonna go from here, but I feel like I'm reading it kind of fast because it is large print. It is the next day, I think. I made it to page 237. I'm like halfway. It's going good. It's getting interesting. So he's a cab driver in New York and she's obviously a princess. So he was driving her around when she was in New York, and now she invited them back to Eldovia, where she's from, to the castle. So they're there right now. The vibes there are really Christmassy, but I just feel like we're not getting a lot of like description on like what the castle looks like, or like the town, or like even the characters. Like I just don't care about the characters at all. That's where we're at. Okay, I'm on page 360 now. I am zooming through this. It's like really fast paced. I don't know if it's because I have the large font version. I don't know how many pages the normal one is, but it's interesting. I'm liking it. Again, I'm not super connected with the characters, especially the girl, because most of the books in the guy's perspective. So yeah, normally I like it more when like the girl's the main one, but this is still interesting. Hi besties, it is the next morning. I ended up finishing A Princess for Christmas. I ended up giving it 2.5 or 3. Honestly, my expectations were really high because I love like princess books and movies, and I was really in my head comparing it to The Princess Switch on Netflix because I love that movie. And yeah, it was not it. I just did not connect to the characters at all. I didn't care about them at all, and I feel like part of it's because it was mostly told from the guy's perspective. Like I feel like I didn't know like anything about the girl, and I just felt like it was not that descriptive, honestly, and it was kind of boring. That's that. But today is Tuesday, and today is Never by Jessa Day, so of course I'm wearing my How's the Weather Parks crew neck. Yes, I've already worn it this week, but I don't care because I didn't leave the house in it. I'm gonna go grab that the second Barnes opens, and then we're gonna read that. Oh, I have a pre-order of it coming, but it's not scheduled to get here till Monday, like a whole week. So I'm like, I'm gonna already have the book read by then, so I'm just gonna return that one, send it back, whatever. I got it! I have secured the bag. Oh my gosh. I am so excited, but I'm also scared. I think I'm gonna start it. All I know is that it's Peter Pan Retime. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Hey! Hey, yo!
Hey, yo!
Sorry. I'm so excited, but I'm scared. I'm like procrastinating because I don't want to be let down. I'm sorry, huh? She had a poster of Mick Jagger on her wall. He slashes it with a knife. She goes, hey, that was my favorite. He goes, I'm your favorite now. And then he says, I don't like to share. Jessa! Oh, she's so good. I just wanted to come on an update for a second. I'm on page 30, literally just page 30. But we met the second guy in this book. I don't know for sure if it's a love triangle, but I remember Jessa posting or something that there's like two main guys. I don't know if it's a love triangle. I have no clue yet. But we met Peter Pan, who's one of the guys, and then Captain Hook's son. I have no clue where this is, no clue what the plot is, and I'm refusing to read the back or find out. But I'm not super familiar with Peter Pan. It's probably like the fairy tale that I'm least familiar with. I think I've watched the animated one and maybe a live action one, not for sure, but I feel pretty good with my understanding going into this. But if I do get confused, I can always put this on pause and read the Peter Pan one that Jessa recommended. I think Rachel and Sarah both read it and they said it was like 200 pages ish, so that's like totally fine if I get confused and have to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm like not super into it yet, and also the font is like so small. I've never read anything like this, I feel. So I am so intrigued. I made it to page 80, so I'm kind of slaying. The chapters are pretty long in this. I don't know how I'm feeling about the romance because like I said, there's like two guys in it and one of them I'm not loving. He's kind of giving toxic, but also in Jessa's other books I've ended up not hating the toxic men, so I have no clue how this is gonna go. I'm not super hooked into it. I don't know, because I have no clue which love interest is gonna do it, and the one I'm not really liking, he's reminding me of a character from the ACOTAR series. Hi, I made it to I almost said page 5. Chapter 5, page 80. I think I updated last night, but I don't know, like I'm not super into it. I don't have any desire to read, but also before I started this, I felt the same way, like not necessarily in a book slump, but just like that I didn't want to read really. I feel like I might need to read the back of the book and see what the main plot is to like motivate myself. Okay, so it basically didn't say like anything about the plot, just like what I already knew. This whole like love triangle thing, one of the guys, I am not but I feel like knowing Jessa and her love for toxic men, I feel like, I don't know, I really am hoping this guy's not who she ends up with, but also this is the first book in the series. I don't even know if we get who she ends up with, you know? I just need to motivate myself to read this book. I'm kind of struggling. I'm really eyeing this book that I also bought yesterday, The Takedown. I might read like the first page of this and see if it's just calling out to me. It's never a good sign when I am in the middle of a book and I'm like, I'm gonna start something else. It's never a good sign. This video is turning into a character hate video. This book is like, I don't know how to describe it, between like up and down. Like 1 minute I'll be like liking the scene, and then the next chapter will just be like super hard to read because it's just so annoying and like rude. Like the last chapter was pretty good, and then I start this one. So the character wakes the main girl up and it's like, wake up, and then she's like, can I have breakfast first? And they're like, no. And then she's like, I'm hungry. And then they're like, you should have woke up earlier. I can't. Like, I was gonna read another chapter, but now that this is what... But I really want to finish it today, but I don't know. I'm on page 234. I'm like that far. What the heck? What the heck? What am I reading right now? What? I like don't want to spoil and say which love interest I'm not vibing with, but when they first met, she called him boy or something and he called her girl or something, and now he just keeps calling her girl, and it just is not sitting right with me. Like, wake up, girl. Like, no, it just doesn't hit, you know? Okay, I kind of feel like there's something underlying going on in this world. I don't have any guesses, but I'm just getting the vibe that like something deeper is happening. Now I'm on page 100. He goes, "You're good at that." She goes, "Thank you." He goes, he frowns. Then he says, "Now you say I'm good too." Bro, oh my gosh. I'm having a hard time reading this because if she ends up with this guy, I think I might rip this book in half. So that's how it's going currently. Can you kiss? I literally cannot. Like, this is just so up and down and back and forth. Like, literally, I just finished one chapter and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I like this one more. Screw the other one." I flipped the page and she's like, "Wait, I'm gonna tell him I like him," even though she just said she doesn't like him. I'm like, what? I was really vibing. I was really liking where we were going, and then freaking the man I can't stand shows up and ruins it. Who do you think you are? I'm starting to form a theory. There is no way that the author of one of my favorite series ever just replied to one of my comments. I need sedated. Look at this. On my TikTok. There is no way the author who wrote freaking Julian. I'm gonna finish this book now. No, I'm gonna binge it because Jessa just told me to. Does this mean she'll send me an arc of MP3? Hi guys, quick little update because I fully wanted to finish this book tonight. I have like 100 pages left, but it is already almost 9 o'clock and I have to like be up and out of the house super early tomorrow, so it's not gonna happen. But I got to page 288. See, like I have like 70 pages, now I have like 80, 90 pages left. I want to do it so bad, but I know I'm gonna regret it. It's literally just still the same, like her back and forth between the guys, the one still being a piece of crap and the other still being decent. That's all I got. There's really no plot. I mean, really no plot. Why is he literally trying to pressure me? Say it. It's just like so toxic and disgusting. Every time something bad happens, she just goes to the other guy. I think I've seen this film before. Is this seriously how this is gonna end? On Goodreads, a 2.5 by the way. Look at that. I can't even write a review. What the heck? So that was my experience reading Never. I obviously finished Never. I don't know. It's so hard to like talk about this book, and I feel bad rating books really poorly. It's either a 2 or a 1 star. I don't really know which one. I think I accidentally said 2.5 in one of the clips. disregard that. It's definitely not that. I think it might be a 1 star, because the more I like think about it, I don't think I've ever rated a book a 1 star. There were some parts of it I liked. I thought the idea of like Neverland and retelling that was good, and I did like 2 of like the side characters. I did enjoy them, and there were some scenes that were enjoyable, and her writing was still pretty good to me, and it was still a book that I was intrigued by and wanted to keep reading when I was reading it. None of the main characters, the main like 3, were all pretty terrible. That's that. I'm going to bed now. I just had a long day, and reading that book really just did it in. But I'm really excited for tomorrow to wake up and read this, which should be super fun. I'm so excited. Good morning, guys. So I decided to start this book today, The Takedown by Carly Walker. I don't know much about it. I just seen it at Barnes and thought it looked so good. I looked up on Goodreads and it literally only has like a couple hundred reviews. I think it recently came out, but it's basically about our main girl. She works for the CIA, and her sister is actually engaged to this huge like crime lord, and she is tasked with taking him down. I'm pretty sure there's romance in this too. I think it's mostly a romance, but I don't know like what like the trope is or whatever. So I'm excited to see that. I'm going in pretty blind, and I'm so excited because I love like Criminal Minds, all that stuff. Hi guys, it's a lot later, but I thought I'd update. I'm on page 68. It's going really good so far. I'm really liking it. I'm liking the writing. I'm liking the main character. I just thought I'd update. So everyone's staying at her like grandma's house for this Christmas season, including her sister, her sister's boyfriend, the like crime guy, and then the crime guy's bodyguard, Nick, who I'm assuming is a love interest in this book. So I'm intrigued to see how that goes, and I'm really interested in the whole like taking down the guy thing. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading, hopefully get at least halfway tonight. Okay, I think I'm gonna get some work done and listen to the audiobook. I'm in like a productive mood, but I don't want to get up, you know? I was reading, I'm like, wow, I kind of want to be productive, but I was like, wait, I don't want to get out of bed. This is not going how I thought it would, but it's getting like so interesting. I'm like eating this book up. Holy plot twist. What? So they're asking each other questions, and she goes, do you even like Taylor Swift? Hilarious that is like the one question she cares about. This book is literally incredible. I'm so glad we had a good one after the last one. Hello and welcome to the wrap-up section. The first book I read was A Princess for Christmas. I bought this book because I absolutely love the Princess Switch on Netflix, and I thought that it was gonna be like that or like similar vibes, but I found this book pretty boring and the characters not really that interesting. Like I just didn't really care about them at all. Most of this book was told from the guy's perspective, and I feel like normally the books I read are mostly told from the girl's perspective, and I usually like that more, so I didn't really connect with the girl at all, or the guy really. And also the whole like plot between this sounded really interesting, how he was the cab driver and then found her, the princess, and then became her driver for her trip, and then they went back to her like kingdom, but it just didn't give. It was kind of boring and it was very mid. There were some parts of it that were cute, but overall it was very mid. So I ended up giving this 3 stars because it was still enjoyable and I liked the vibes and some scenes in it were cute. And this next book, I just wanted to say a few things before I review it. This book, I've seen a lot of controversy going on since I finished the book. I will not be speaking on that, and anything I say about this book has absolutely nothing to do with that controversy. So everything I'm saying is my opinion alone and has nothing to do with the controversy. So that's that. Never by Jessa Hastings. This book, I feel like the idea was there and it had so much potential, but how she wrote the characters in this was not good. I understand that one of the guys especially wasn't supposed to be likable, but he was disgusting. He was horrible. And even the girl in this, I couldn't like either, and same with the other guy, just no. And there wasn't even really a plot to this, I feel like. There was no like conflict, adventure they had to go on or anything. It was just a love triangle. There was just so much stuff in this book that didn't sit right with me. The other main guy in this book was absolutely horrible. The amount of times I considered DNFing this book just because he like said something, and I understand we weren't meant to like him, but he was terrible. Some of the things he said to the main girl in this honestly made me want to rip the book in half. He said so many terrible things. He called her just like names that just didn't sit right with me, and he tried to pressure her into doing things, and he was so manipulative. I think there's some like underlying thing going on that is why he's like manipulative, but still he was terrible to her. He would gaslight her so much and manipulate her so much. He didn't even call her real name. He called her another person's name. Like I said though, I understand that we weren't supposed to like him, but still he was terrible. The main girl in this, she wasn't very likable either. She was just so back and forth with everything. Literally one page she would be like, yeah, I love this guy. The next page, next sentence, she'd be like, oh, I hate him. And she just went back and forth and was so like flighty, I guess you could say. Like the second one thing goes wrong, she like ran away and like just wanted to uproar her life. That is, I think, all of the negative things I'm going to say about this book. It just made me so mad. But I did really enjoy Jessa's writing in this book, obviously, and the idea for this retelling was there. If it would have had more likable characters, it could have hit so hard. Just the characters in this really ruined the story, unfortunately. There are a couple side characters I liked, but that's it. I gave it 1.5 stars simply because I love Jessa's writing, and I did enjoy the world a lot, but the characters absolutely ruined the story for me. And then I read The Takedown. This book was incredible. I think I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars. It was such a fun book. It is kind of a Christmas book, but there is not much Christmas stuff that happens at all. It's really just like set around that time. So I loved how this book was about our main girl and how she was a CIA agent. I thought that was so interesting to read about, and I've always been someone who loves like Criminal Minds, all of that stuff, so this was so interesting to read about. And I did really love the romance in this book. At first I was like not sure how it was gonna work out and just like how they were gonna be able to be together, but I really liked how it ended in them together. And I just felt like their romance was like really real. Like in some romance books I'll read, I'll be like, it's purely physical, or like they have like nothing in common, but this one like really hit hard. And her writing in this was really good. It was funny. I was giggling. I was kicking my feet. And I feel like I haven't seen like anything on this book. And when I read it, it only had like 700 Goodreads reviews. I mean, please read this book. I really liked how it wrapped up and how like the whole like her trying to take down the crime guy was too. It was so interesting to read about and just like figure out along with the character how it was going to go down. And there was even some like plot twists in this book. And the third act breakup in this one, normally they like piss me off so much, like I'm like literally just like shut up and communicate, but this one was actually like believable and good, so I really liked that. Please read this book, and I think it's her debut book, so I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering her next ones when they get announced. There was like a little snippet at the end of this book for her next book, and it sounded so good, so I can't wait. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and let me know if you want more just like casual reading vlogs like this or more themed ones. Peace.